Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel Technology Incroyable. Today we will look into the problem number 167 to sum where input array is given sorted from LeetCode. So let's read the question very fast. Given a one indexed array of integer numbers that is already sorted in non-decreasing order, find two numbers such that they add up to a specific target number. Let these numbers be number of index 1 and number of index 2, where index 1 is greater than equals to 1 and less than equals to index 1 and index 2 will be less than equals to length of the array. So we have to return the indices of two number 1 and 2 and each incremented by 1. So please keep this in mind while returning your solution. As an integer array, index 1 and index 2 of length 2. So output will be a list of length 2. The tests are generated such that there is exactly one solution. You may not use the same element twice. So there is exactly one solution for the every test case. Your solution must use only constant extra space. So we don't have to use here extra space. We have to solve in the given space only. So let's see the example. The first example is 2, 7, 11, 15, length is 4 and target is 9. So here the target should be 9, that is the sum of the two numbers should be equals to 9 and we have to return the index of that number incremented by 1. Okay, so here you can see that 2 plus 7 will be 9 and here we have to return 1 and 2 which is the index of 0, index of 2 is 0 exactly and index of 7 is 1. So 0 plus 1 and 1 plus 1, that is 2. So that we have written 1 comma 2. And let's see the next example 2, 3, 4 and the target value is 6. So here we have to return like we have written 1 and 3 where the solution would be it's obvious that 2 plus 4 is 6 and we have to return the index of those number incremented by 1 which is 1 and 3. Okay, and here the third case in which we have two number, one number is -1, second number is 0 in the list, input list, and the target is -1. So -1 plus 0 would be -1. So here we have to return the index incremented by 1. So we have written 1 comma 2 which was the 0 and 1 was the original index. So we have incremented that by 1 that is 1 and 2. Okay, so here are some constants are given and let's first try to think how we can solve this problem. So here I have taken one example in which target value is 17 and the length of array here I have taken is 6 which is of values 2, 4, 6, 7, 11 and 16. So first anyone will think the brute force approach in which we will compare 2 plus 4, 2 plus 6, 2 plus 7. So each number compare added to another number and then the time complexity would be O of n square. Okay, but this is not at all efficient, so we will not do like this. We will find some efficient solution. So what we can think as can we use two pointers here. So one pointer I will take at the starting and one pointer I will take at the end. So let's say I will take I as a 0 which is pointing to the starting and j as what is the length here 6 and the last index would be 5. Okay, which is length -1. So because in this problem statement the array is always given as a sorted array. Okay, it's written input array is sorted. So we can think of this kind of two pointers where array is sorted already. So let's see how we can do. So let's try to sum the elements. Here the current I value is 0 which is pointing at 2 and the j value is 5 which is pointing at 16. So let's sum it. 2 plus 16 which is exactly getting 18 and it's greater than the target value which is 17. So now what we can think that we have to decrease this number, right? So how we can decrease this number, because j is already pointing at the maximum value, so we have to decrement this particular value, because if we increment this I value, then number will increase more. Okay, so we have to decrease this j value now. So let's decrement j by 1. So now j is 4, and it's pointing at 11. So now 2 plus 11, which is equal to 13. Now you can see that our sum is actually less than the target value. So this also we don't want. So now we have to increment the sum. So how we can increment the sum? We have to increase the one of the number. So by decrementing j, we can't increase the number. So here in this case, we have to increment the value of I. Okay, so now I became 1, and I became 1. Let me erase this thing. I became 1, and what will be the number? 4, and j is still 4, which is pointing to 11. So 4 plus 11, which is now 15, and 15 is still less than 17, which is our target value. So now again we have to think for increasing this value of our sum. So we have to increase this value. How we can increase? We have to increase the value of I. So now I will be pointing to 2. I equals to 2, and it will point to the value at the second index, which is 6. Now let's do the sum. So 6 plus 11. Now you can see that our sum value, which is 17, it's exactly equal to our target value, which is also 17. Okay, so now we got our result. So how we will return our result? We have to return an array of 2 elements, in which we have to return the indexes of those particular numbers. So first number is 6, and another number is 11, which will add up and give us 17. So I have to, like, what is the index of 6? It is 2. And what is the index of 11? It is 4. But it is given in the question that we have to like provide the indexes incremented by 1. So now what I will do, I will increment the value of this index. Okay, so now what I will return? 3, 5. So this value I have to return as the output of the problem. So let's check the solution here. So I have solved it in Python. So the same what I have explained, I have taken the 2 pointers I and j, I at minimum value and j at the maximum value. So I is 0 and j is last value, which is length of numbers -1. And I am running one while loop for running it in O of n. So I am running until I is less than j. Okay, and then I am calculating the value of sum, and then I am comparing it with the target value. So if sum is greater than target, then we have to decrease the value. How we can decrease the value? Because j is pointing at the maximum value, so we can decrease the value of j, so a number will decrease as our array is given sorted. So that is why we are decrementing the value of j here by 1. And if my sum value is less than target value, then we have to increase the sum value to like make it closer to target value. So I am incrementing the value of I, because I is pointing at the lesser value, because our array is sorted. Okay, so I am incrementing the value of I, and the third case would be obvious, where sum would be equals to the target value. In that case, we have to return the value, and every problem will have exactly one solution. So here we don't have to take that edge case. Otherwise we can like write one edge case that we will return -1, -1. Okay, so that's how we have solved this problem. Okay, so it's completed. Thank you.